In this poignant video, we explore the heartbreaking stories behind the 28 cast members of the iconic series Moonlighting. This beloved show, known for its witty writing and captivating performances, left a lasting legacy marked by the tragic deaths of many of its stars. From the legendary leads to the unforgettable supporting characters, each actor's journey was filled with dreams, challenges, and profound loss. Join us as we uncover the circumstances surrounding these untimely departures, revealing the impact of fame and the unseen struggles they faced. This emotional tribute reminds us of the fragile nature of life and the true cost of stardom. Don't miss these compelling stories that will leave you reflecting on their legacy. Jack Blessing as McGillicuddy. Jack Blessing, known for his role as McGillicuddy, faced the harsh reality of pancreatic cancer, a disease often diagnosed too late for effective treatment. Initially, Blessing experienced vague symptoms, unexplained fatigue and a subtle persistent pain in his abdomen that he attributed to the stress of working in Hollywood. It wasn't until he began losing weight and noticed jaundice that he sought medical attention. After a series of tests and a diagnosis that shocked him and his family, Blessing entered a battle that was both physical and emotional. His first round of chemotherapy brought hope, but the side effects were debilitating, robbing him of the energy that had once fueled his vibrant personality. He often reflected on the irony of his character, McGillicuddy, who thrived on chaos and unpredictability, while his own life had become a constant fight against the disease. As the months passed, Blessing's cancer went into remission, and for a brief period, he embraced life with renewed vigor, cherishing the simple pleasures like spending time with family and friends. However, the shadow of the disease loomed large, and after a few months of relative peace, the cancer returned with a vengeance. This time, it was more aggressive, and the news hit Blessing hard. He felt the weight of his mortality pressing down upon him, and his final months, as the illness progressed, Blessing's health deteriorated rapidly. The vibrant man who once filled the set of Moonlighting with laughter became increasingly frail, grappling with intense pain and emotional despair. Yet, even as he faced his own impending demise, he remained a source of humor for those around him, often joking about his character's antics and the absurdities of life. Blessing passed away on November 14, 2017, at the age of 66, leaving a legacy of laughter and fond memories behind. Howard Mann as the gas station cashier. Howard Mann, known for his role as the gas station cashier, was the embodiment of warmth and friendliness, always ready with a smile and a kind word for customers stopping by. His character brought a sense of comfort to the often chaotic world of Moonlighting, a small haven where people could momentarily escape their troubles. However, behind Mann's affable exterior lay a personal battle that would prove to be far more challenging than any role he played on screen. In the years leading up to his passing, Mann faced the harrowing diagnosis of cancer. It began with a persistent cough that he initially brushed off as a minor ailment. As weeks turned into months, the symptoms worsened, and the once vibrant man who filled the screen with laughter found himself grappling with fatigue and a growing sense of unease. Mann's diagnosis was a devastating blow not only to him but also to his family and friends who adored him. He approached the treatment with the same cheerful demeanor he displayed on set, determined to maintain his optimism. However, the chemotherapy sessions took a significant toll on his health. The side effects, nausea, hair loss, and overwhelming fatigue, transformed him from a beloved actor full of life into a frail shadow of his former self. In his final days, Mann's condition deteriorated rapidly, leading to unrelenting pain that forced him into hospice care. Surrounded by family, he shared fond memories and heartfelt goodbyes, reminding them to celebrate life rather than mourn his passing. Howard Mann passed away on September 18, 2008, at the age of 85, leaving behind a legacy of kindness and a reminder of the strength found in vulnerability. Robert Webber as Alexander Hayes. Robert Webber, portraying the authoritative Alexander Hayes, faced a formidable foe in amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. The disease began subtly, with occasional muscle weakness that he brushed off as normal signs of aging. However, as his condition worsened, it became increasingly difficult for him to perform the tasks he once took for granted. He began to struggle with speech, his words slurred and hesitant, frustrating both him and his family. Webber's diagnosis came as a shock, not just to him but to those who admired his talent and charisma. Initially, he maintained an optimistic outlook, determined to continue working and inspiring others. He continued to film scenes for Moonlighting, embodying the wisdom and sophistication of Alexander Hayes. However, the relentless progression of ALS was unforgiving. The disease stole his mobility, confining him to a wheelchair and robbing him of his voice. As his health declined, Webber faced a profound sense of loss, not only of his physical capabilities but also of his identity as an actor and a father. The role of Alexander Hayes became increasingly poignant, as Webber infused his own experiences into the character's complex relationships, particularly with Maddie. In his final months, surrounded by family, he found solace in their presence, sharing cherished memories and imparting wisdom despite the debilitating effects of the disease. Robert Webber passed away on May 19, 1989, at the age of 64, leaving behind a legacy of powerful performances and an indelible impact on those who worked with him. Jack Murdoch as the inmate. Jack Murdoch played the inmate, a character characterized by toughness and resilience, navigating a challenging world with a hardened exterior. In real life, Murdoch's journey mirrored the struggles of the characters he portrayed, facing his own health battles in the years leading up to his death. Murdoch was diagnosed with emphysema, a chronic lung condition that would eventually take a toll on his vibrant spirit. It started with a persistent cough that he initially dismissed, thinking it was just a part of growing older. However, as time passed, the cough worsened, and he found himself struggling for breath even in the simplest of tasks. His diagnosis was a turning point, leading to a difficult path of treatments and lifestyle changes. Murdoch was determined to fight back, dedicating himself to improving his health and reclaiming the vitality he once had. He adopted a rigorous exercise regimen and made dietary changes, but the disease was relentless, gradually robbing him of the energy and strength that had once defined him. In his final years, Murdoch faced the harsh realities of his condition. Breathing became an exhausting effort, and the once charismatic actor found himself confined to a hospital bed more often than not. As he battled the physical toll of emphysema, he also grappled with the emotional weight of his declining health. The tough exterior he had portrayed on screen began to fade, revealing a man filled with vulnerability and fear. Jack Murdoch passed away on April 27, 2001, at the age of 78, leaving. Charles Rocket as Richard Addison. Charles Rocket's portrayal of Richard Addison brought a unique blend of charm and trouble to Moonlighting. Behind the scenes, Rocket faced his own demons that would ultimately lead to a tragic end. In the years prior to his death, Rocket struggled with personal and professional challenges, grappling with feelings of inadequacy and isolation. His mental health began to decline, marked by periods of severe depression. Rocket sought help, trying various therapies and medications, but the pressures of the entertainment industry weighed heavily on him. He often felt trapped in the shadow of his on-screen persona, where his character's charm masked the deep-rooted insecurities he grappled with daily. As the years went on, Rocket faced moments of clarity and despair, wrestling with thoughts that grew darker over time. His death by suicide on October 7, 2005, at the age of 56, was a devastating blow to those who knew him. In his final days, friends and family noticed a change in him. He was quieter, more withdrawn, reflecting the internal battle he fought relentlessly. Rocket's struggle highlighted the often hidden nature of mental health issues, as he remained a beloved figure to many. In his final moments, he reached out for help, yet the overwhelming tide of his mental anguish proved too strong to overcome. The legacy of Richard Addison, with all its charm and complexity, serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the Vincent Sky as Rodney Dillon. Vincent Sky brought the character of Rodney Dillon to life, a quirky and eccentric technical assistant whose oddities made him a beloved figure in Moonlighting. Sky himself was a larger-than-life personality, known for his distinctive looks and offbeat charm. Yet, behind the comedic facade lay a battle with lung cancer that would profoundly affect him. Initially, Sky experienced persistent coughing spells that he attributed to his long-time smoking habit. As he continued to work and perform, he brushed off the symptoms, believing they were a part of his quirky persona. However, as the cough worsened, he finally sought medical attention, and the diagnosis hit him hard: lung cancer. The news was devastating, not just for Sky but also for his fans and loved ones. He underwent surgery to remove the tumor, followed by rounds of chemotherapy, each treatment marking a new chapter in his fight against the disease. During this time, he maintained a humorous outlook, often joking about his situation and using his unique sense of humor to uplift those around him. However, as the months progressed, the effects of the illness became more pronounced. The treatments took a toll on his body, leading to extreme fatigue and frequent hospital visits. Friends noted a change in his spirit as he grappled with the realities of his declining health, yet he remained determined to make the most of each moment. In his final days, Sky health continued to decline, but he refused to let cancer define him. Vincent Sky passed away on December 26, 2005, at the age of 57, leaving behind a legacy of eccentricity and joy that resonated with audiences far beyond his time on screen. Kate Merta as the elderly woman. Kate Merta portrayed the elderly woman, a character that radiated warmth and nurturing energy, often serving as a maternal figure to those around her. Merta herself mirrored this nurturing spirit in her personal life, always offering support and wisdom to her family and friends. However, as she aged, the inevitable struggles of life began to take their toll on her health. Merta faced the challenges of old age with grace, but it became apparent that her once vibrant health was declining. As she approached her 90s, she experienced a series of minor health setbacks, a fall here, a brief hospitalization there, each time demonstrating her resilience and determination to bounce back. However, these incidents began to accumulate, slowly eroding her strength and vitality, and the months leading up to her death, Merta's health took a dramatic turn. She developed pneumonia, a common yet dangerous complication for the elderly. Initially, she fought bravely against the illness, displaying the same spirit that had endeared her to audiences over the years. However, as her condition worsened, she became increasingly frail, struggling to breathe and feeling the weight of her years pressing down on her. Kate Merta passed away on September 10, 2017, at the age of 96, leaving behind a legacy of love and warmth. Her passing marked the end of an era, but her spirit continued to live on in the hearts of those she touched. Caitlyn Clark as Elaine Johnson. Caitlyn Clark portrayed Elaine Johnson, a character defined by her strength and determination, often embroiled in complex and emotionally charged storylines. Clark's powerful performances resonated with viewers, reflecting her own tenacity in the face of adversity. However, her life took a tragic turn as she faced her most significant battle, ovarian cancer. Initially, Clark dismissed the early symptoms, bloating and fatigue, as signs of stress from her demanding career. Yet, as the symptoms persisted, she sought medical advice, only to receive the life-altering diagnosis of ovarian cancer. The news was a shock to her and her loved ones, and she quickly found herself navigating a whirlwind of doctor appointments, treatment plans, and the overwhelming uncertainty of the road ahead. Clark's strength shone through as she began her treatment. She underwent surgeries and chemotherapy, all while trying to balance her career and her health. Her determination to continue working was admirable, yet the toll of the disease and the treatments was immense. The vibrant and passionate woman who had captivated audiences began to feel the weight of her illness, experiencing debilitating fatigue and emotional highs and lows that were difficult to manage. As her condition progressed, Clark found solace in the support of her friends and family, who rallied around her during this difficult time. They shared moments of laughter and joy, often reflecting on her incredible talent and the indelible mark she had left on those who knew her. Yet, despite her courageous spirit, the reality of her diagnosis loomed large, casting a shadow over her once bright future. Caitlyn Clark passed away on September 9, 2004, at the age of 52, leaving behind a legacy of strength and determination. George Coe as Lou LaSalle. George Coe played Lou LaSalle, a character defined by his commanding and authoritative presence, bringing a sense of gravitas to the series. In real life, Coe was an accomplished actor, respected for his talent and professionalism. However, his later years would be marked by a prolonged battle with illness that would change the course of his life. Coe faced numerous health challenges as he aged, with a series of conditions that began to accumulate. Initially, these issues were manageable, but as time went on, they developed into more serious complications that required constant medical attention. Throughout this period, Coe remained committed to his craft, often attributing his resilience to his love for acting and the support of his colleagues. As his health declined, Coe continued to fight, enduring a variety of treatments that took a toll on his body and spirit. The physical demands of his illness began to overshadow his performances, and the man who once commanded attention with his strong presence started to struggle with the weight of his health challenges. Friends noted that the vibrant spark in his eyes was often clouded by fatigue and pain, yet he maintained a positive outlook, encouraging those around him to focus on the good. George Coe passed away on July 18, 2015, at the age of 86, after a long illness. Jack Bannon as the club owner. Jack Bannon played the suave and sophisticated club owner, a character who exuded charm and charisma in every scene. Off-screen, Bannon embodied a similar elegance, drawing people in with his warm smile and engaging presence. However, beneath the polished exterior lay a personal struggle that would ultimately define his later years. In the years preceding his passing, Bannon was diagnosed with cancer, a revelation that sent shockwaves through his life. Initially, he dismissed the symptoms, a lingering cough and unexpected weight loss, as mere signs of aging. But as the months progressed, it became clear that something far more serious was at play. After numerous doctor visits and tests, the diagnosis was confirmed. He was battling cancer. Bannon approached his diagnosis with characteristic grace, determined to maintain his dignified demeanor throughout his treatment. He underwent surgery and rounds of chemotherapy, each time clinging to the hope that he would emerge victorious. While the treatment was physically grueling, he remained committed to his craft, frequently attending events and engagements, showcasing a resilience that inspired those around him. As time passed, however, the cancer proved to be a formidable adversary. The toll of the treatments began to wear on his body, robbing him of the energy and vitality that had characterized his performances. Friends and family noted a distinct change in him, his once vibrant laughter now often replaced by a weary smile. Jack Bannon passed away on October 25, 2017, at the age of 77, leaving behind a legacy of charm and sophistication, along with a reminder of the importance of grace in the face of adversity. Leonard Fry as Schuyler Cantrell. Leonard Fry portrayed Schuyler Cantrell, a character known for his sophisticated and somewhat enigmatic personality, effortlessly captivating audiences with his charm and complexity. Off-screen, Fry was equally intriguing, but behind his brilliant performances lay a battle that would ultimately take a tragic turn. In the early 1980s, Fry received the life-altering diagnosis of AIDS, a disease that was heavily stigmatized and poorly understood at the time. Faced with an uncertain future, he remained committed to his art and continued to perform, finding solace in the characters he portrayed. Despite his condition, Fry often took part in advocacy work, using his platform to educate others about the realities of living with AIDS. However, as the years progressed, his health began to decline. Fry experienced a range of debilitating symptoms, each one a reminder of the disease that threatened his life. The vibrant energy he once exuded was increasingly overshadowed by fatigue and illness. Friends and colleagues began to notice a change. His laughter, once frequent and hearty, became less common as he battled the fatigue and emotional toll of his illness. Leonard Fry passed away on August 24, 1988, at the age of 49, leaving behind a legacy marked by his artistic brilliance and his fight against a disease that affected so many. Pat Corley as Farley Rye. Pat Corley portrayed Farley Rye, a character renowned for his gruff and no-nonsense demeanor. His portrayal brought a unique blend of humor and toughness that resonated with audiences. However, in the later years of his life, Corley faced health challenges that would ultimately overshadow his impressive career. Corley's health began to decline as he aged, with a series of complications that would eventually lead to heart failure. Initially, he brushed off minor issues, attributing them to the stress of his demanding career. Yet, as time passed, the signs became increasingly difficult to ignore. Friends and family noticed that he seemed more fatigued, and his once robust energy was often replaced with an overwhelming weariness. As he battled these health issues, Corley continued to work, refusing to let his condition define him. However, the toll of his illness became apparent during his performances. He often pushed himself to deliver the comedic timing that his character required, but it became more challenging as he struggled with breathlessness and fatigue. Despite these difficulties, he maintained a strong front, trying to keep spirits high with his signature humor. Pat Corley passed away on September 11, 2006, at the age of 76, due to heart failure. Richard Belzer as Leonard. Richard Belzer brought the character of Leonard to life, known for his sharp wit and dry humor that often provided comic relief amidst the show's more serious moments. Off-screen, Belzer was a comedic force, captivating audiences with his clever observations and unique perspective on life. However, the later years of his life were marked by a health journey that would become increasingly challenging. Belzer faced a series of health issues that began to emerge as he aged. Initially, he dealt with minor ailments, which he attributed to the wear and tear of his demanding career. However, as time went on, these health problems escalated into more serious conditions that would require extensive medical attention. Despite these challenges, Belzer remained fiercely dedicated to his work, often using humor as a coping mechanism to navigate his difficulties. And the years leading up to his death, Belzer's health took a significant downturn. He suffered from a series of complications that compounded one another, leading to an increasingly frail state. Friends and family noted how difficult it became for him to maintain the same energetic presence he was known for, yet he approached each day with a determination to keep smiling and to continue his work in comedy. Richard Belzer passed away on February 19, 2023, at the age of 78, leaving behind a legacy of humor, resilience, and an indomitable spirit. Lisa Blunt as Toby. Lisa Blunt portrayed Toby, a character defined by her strong and determined personality, often navigating complex and emotional storylines with grace. Blunt was not only a talented actress but also a passionate advocate for various causes. However, her later years were marred by a serious health battle that would take a significant toll on her life, and the years following her peak career, Blunt began to experience health complications that were initially vague and hard to diagnose. After several frustrating visits to doctors, she was finally diagnosed with idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, ITP, a condition that affects the blood's ability to clot. The diagnosis came as a shock, and she faced a steep learning curve to understand the implications of her condition. As her health fluctuated, Blunt grappled with the physical and emotional challenges posed by ITP. The symptoms often left her feeling drained and overwhelmed, and she found it increasingly difficult to maintain her usual energy levels. Yet, even in the face of adversity, she remained determined to advocate for awareness about her condition, often sharing her journey with friends and fans alike. Kenneth McMillan passed away on October 25, 2010, at the age of 53, due to liver disease. His legacy as a versatile actor with a commanding presence will forever be remembered, and he is cherished by fans and colleagues for the warmth and authenticity he brought to every role. Robert Loewenstein as Hines. Robert Loewenstein played Hines, a character with a meticulous and somewhat quirky personality, bringing a unique flair to the series. Known for his attention to detail both on and off screen, Loewenstein approached his craft with a passion that resonated with audiences. However, the later years of his life brought unexpected challenges as he faced health issues that would ultimately take their toll. Loewenstein's health began to decline as he aged, with various ailments creeping into his life. Initially, he attributed these minor health concerns to the natural aging process, but they soon escalated into more significant issues that required medical attention. Despite these challenges, Loewenstein remained committed to his work and continued to take on roles that showcased his talent. As his health deteriorated, Loewenstein grappled with the reality of his situation. He faced a series of medical interventions, each one a reminder of the fragile nature of life. Friends and colleagues noted a change in his demeanor. The once vibrant actor now exhibited signs of weariness that stemmed from both his physical challenges and the emotional weight of his condition. Robert Loewenstein passed away on October 28, 2010, at the age of 87, due to natural causes. Richard Libertini as Albert. Richard Libertini brought Albert to life with a quirky and eccentric personality that delighted audiences and left a lasting impression. Known for his distinct style and comedic timing, Libertini's performances were a testament to his talent. However, in the twilight of his life, he faced a formidable adversary: cancer. As the diagnosis settled in, Libertini initially approached his health with optimism, hoping for a swift recovery. He continued to engage in his passion for acting, often taking on roles that showcased his unique flair. Yet, the cancer gradually took hold, leading to an emotional roller coaster as he navigated treatments and the uncertainties of his condition. Friends noted that he maintained a sense of humor through it all, often using laughter as a coping mechanism, though the weight of his illness became increasingly difficult to bear. And the months that followed, Libertini's health fluctuated. He underwent rounds of chemotherapy that drained his energy and vitality. Despite the physical toll, he remained determined to stay engaged in life, often appearing at events and reconnecting with friends from the industry. He would reminisce about his career, sharing anecdotes that reminded everyone of the infectious spirit he exuded on stage and screen. However, the fight against cancer proved to be a battle of attrition. Libertini found himself in and out of hospitals, each visit a stark reminder of his deteriorating condition. As the disease advanced, he grappled with feelings of vulnerability, a stark contrast to the lively persona he had cultivated throughout his career. Still, he found solace in the love and support of family and friends, who rallied around him during this challenging period. Richard Libertini passed away on January 7, 2016, at the age of 82 due to cancer. Kenneth McMillan as Baptista. Kenneth McMillan played Baptista, a character known for his gruff yet endearing personality, captivating audiences with his unique charm. Off-screen, McMillan was a talented actor with a robust presence, but as he aged, he encountered health challenges that would eventually lead to his untimely passing. McMillan's journey with liver disease began quietly, with subtle symptoms that he initially dismissed as the effects of aging. However, as time progressed, the disease became more pronounced, forcing him to confront the reality of his health. Friends and family expressed concern as they noticed his declining energy and increasing bouts of illness, but McMillan remained resilient, often downplaying his condition in an effort to maintain his strong exterior. As the liver disease advanced, McMillan faced a series of hospital visits and treatments. Each new diagnosis brought a wave of anxiety, and he struggled to cope with the physical and emotional toll of his condition. Friends described his determination to continue working, even as his health deteriorated. McMillan often pushed himself to fulfill commitments, driven by a love for acting that was difficult to extinguish. Kenneth McMillan passed away on January 8, 1989, at the age of 56, due to liver disease. His legacy as a versatile actor with a commanding presence will forever be remembered, and he is cherished by fans and colleagues for the warmth and authenticity he brought to every role. Paul Sorvino as David Addison Sr. Paul Sorvino played David Addison Sr., David Addison's father, infusing the role with a sense of authority and warmth. His performances were marked by a commanding presence that resonated deeply with viewers. Yet, in the later years of his life, Sorvino faced significant health challenges that would test his resilience. Sorvino's health issues began to surface gradually. As he entered his 80s, he encountered a series of complications that impacted his overall well-being. Despite the struggles he faced, he remained a formidable force in the industry, often defying expectations by continuing to work and engage with his craft. As his health began to decline, Sorvino grappled with the emotional toll of aging and illness. He fought against the fatigue that accompanied his various ailments, determined to maintain the same vigor he had always brought to his performances. Friends and family noted that even during his most challenging days, he remained committed to sharing his wisdom and experiences, often reflecting on his career and the lessons he had learned. Paul Sorvino passed away on July 25, 2022, at the age of 83, due to natural causes. Rick Jason as J.B. Harland. Rick Jason portrayed J.B. Harland, a character known for his suave and sophisticated demeanor. Jason's performances were marked by an undeniable charm that captivated audiences and established him as a respected figure in the entertainment industry. However, the later years of his life were overshadowed by personal struggles that culminated in a tragic ending. As he aged, Jason faced an increasing sense of isolation. Despite a successful career, he found himself grappling with feelings of loneliness and despair, compounded by the pressures of the entertainment industry. Friends noted a marked change in his demeanor as he withdrew from social engagements and became more introspective. Jason's mental health deteriorated over time, and he battled with depression that had long been hidden beneath his charismatic exterior. Those who cared for him attempted to offer support, but the struggle became increasingly difficult as he fought against the demons that plagued him. He often felt trapped in a cycle of despair, struggling to find joy in the passions that had once defined his life. And a heartbreaking turn of events, Rick Jason ultimately succumbed to his inner turmoil. On October 16, 2000, he passed away from a self-inflicted gunshot wound at the age of 77. Will McMillan as Agent Dayton. Will McMillan portrayed Agent Dayton, a character imbued with a determined and authoritative presence. His performances were characterized by a compelling blend of intensity and charisma, captivating viewers with every scene. However, as he moved into the later years of his life, McMillan encountered significant health struggles that would ultimately lead to his untimely passing. McMillan's health began to decline gradually, marked by fatigue and a sense of unease that he initially brushed off as the natural effects of aging. As a seasoned actor, he was accustomed to the demands of his craft, but the mounting physical challenges began to interfere with his ability to perform at the level he had always prided himself on. Friends observed a shift in his demeanor, as the once vibrant and energetic McMillan struggled to maintain his usual presence. And the months leading up to his death, McMillan faced various health issues that tested his resolve. Hospital visits became increasingly frequent, and each appointment brought new fears and uncertainties. While he continued to put on a brave face, those close to him recognized the toll that his health was taking on his spirit. McMillan often spoke candidly about his concerns, revealing the vulnerability that lay beneath his strong exterior. Will McMillan passed away on December 2, 2015, at the age of 71. John Lenn as Dr. Beddoes. John Lenn portrayed Dr. Beddoes, a character distinguished by his analytical and methodical approach to medicine. Lenn's career spanned several decades, during which he became a familiar face in both film and television. However, in his later years, he faced the harsh realities of life and health that would ultimately define his final chapter. In the early 2000s, Lenn was diagnosed with cancer. Initially, he approached the diagnosis with a stoic resolve, using his knowledge of the medical field to understand his condition and its implications. He immersed himself in research, seeking to find every possible avenue for treatment. Friends and family admired his strength and determination, but as the months turned into years, they began to notice the toll that the illness was taking on him. The treatment was rigorous, involving chemotherapy sessions that drained him physically and emotionally. Len, once a vibrant and active individual, began to feel the weight of his illness. He often expressed frustration about his limitations, as he struggled to maintain the energy and passion he had for acting. Friends recounted how he would light up when discussing his projects, but there were moments when despair would creep in, and he would grapple with feelings of helplessness. As the cancer progressed, Len's health deteriorated rapidly. He spent his final months in and out of hospitals, battling pain and fatigue. Despite his condition, he remained grateful for the support of loved ones, often reminiscing about his career and the characters he had brought to life. John Lenn passed away on July 6, 2007, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy of memorable performances and a profound impact on those who knew him. Ben Piazza as Captain Renault. Ben Piazza portrayed Captain Renault, a character defined by his authoritative and commanding demeanor. Piazza was known for his powerful performances and his ability to captivate audiences. However, in the latter years of his life, he faced significant health challenges that would ultimately lead to his untimely passing. In the late 1980s, Piazza began to notice changes in his health that raised concerns. After seeking medical advice, he received a diagnosis of AIDS-related cancer, a devastating revelation that changed the course of his life. Initially, he approached the diagnosis with courage, determined to fight the illness with everything he had. However, as the reality of his situation set in, he struggled with feelings of isolation and fear. The treatments were harsh, and Piazza faced significant physical and emotional challenges as he fought against the disease. Friends described how he maintained a brave face in public but often battled moments of despair in private. The toll of the illness was evident, as he became increasingly frail and withdrawn. Still, he found solace in his work and the love of those around him. As the years passed, Piazza's health continued to decline, and he found himself relying on the support of family and friends more than ever. Ben Piazza passed away on September 7, 1991, at the age of 58. Renie Santilli as Señor Arredondo. Renie Santilli brought to life the character of Señor Arredondo, a role that showcased his charismatic and engaging presence. Santilli was well regarded for his unique ability to infuse humor and warmth into his performances. However, as he grew older, he faced his own battle with cancer, a journey that profoundly impacted his life and career. In the years leading up to his diagnosis, Santilli enjoyed a fruitful career, continuing to take on roles that highlighted his talents. However, as his health began to decline, he was diagnosed with cancer. Initially, he approached the news with his characteristic humor, often making light of the situation in an effort to maintain a positive outlook. As treatment began, Santilli found himself navigating the harsh realities of living with cancer. The side effects of chemotherapy were severe, leaving him fatigued and unable to work. Friends described how he struggled with the physical limitations imposed by the disease, feeling frustrated by the things he could no longer do. Despite this, he remained determined to keep his spirits high, often sharing jokes and laughter with those around him. As the cancer progressed, Santoni's health deteriorated significantly. Renie Santilli passed away on August 1, 2020, at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy of love and laughter. Joseph Marr as Jerome. Joseph Marr brought to life the character of Jerome, a role that showcased his quirky and somewhat eccentric personality. Marr's performances were always infused with a unique charm that endeared him to audiences, but behind the scenes, he faced a heartbreaking struggle with a brain tumor that would ultimately take his life. In the late 1990s, Marr began experiencing persistent headaches and dizziness. After a series of medical evaluations, he received a devastating diagnosis: a brain tumor. Initially, Marr approached the news with his characteristic wit, trying to maintain a positive outlook for himself and his loved ones. He often quipped that he would find a way to turn his situation into material for his performances, hoping to use humor to cope with the fear and uncertainty surrounding his diagnosis. As treatment began, Marr underwent surgeries and radiation therapy, enduring grueling sessions that left him physically and emotionally drained. Friends and colleagues noticed the toll the illness was taking on him, as he struggled to maintain his vibrant personality. The physical changes were stark. Marr, once lively and full of energy, began to withdraw into himself, battling the relentless symptoms of his illness. As the tumor progressed, Marr's condition deteriorated rapidly. He spent his final months surrounded by close friends who offered unwavering support. Joseph Marr passed away on July 17, 1998, at the age of 64. Stephen Keats as Jerry. Stephen Keats portrayed Jerry, a character marked by a strong and intense personality that resonated deeply with audiences. His performances were compelling, showcasing a talent that drew viewers into the emotional depths of his character. However, in the years following his successful career, Keats faced personal demons that would ultimately lead to a tragic end. Keats' journey through life was fraught with challenges that began to weigh heavily on his spirit. As the pressures of the industry mounted and personal struggles intensified, he found himself grappling with deep-seated feelings of despair. Friends observed a change in his demeanor, noting that the once vibrant actor seemed increasingly withdrawn and isolated. In the years leading up to his passing, Keats faced a tumultuous battle with depression. Despite his talent and success, he struggled to find fulfillment in his life, often feeling disconnected from the world around him. The emotional toll became overwhelming, and he often spoke of a sense of hopelessness that clouded his vision of the future. Despite attempts to seek help, the darkness lingered, making it difficult for him to see a way forward. May 8, 1994, Stephen Keats tragically took his own life at the age of 49. Colleen Dewhurst as Betty Russell. Colleen Dewhurst portrayed Betty Russell, a character known for her strong and authoritative presence. Dewhurst was an acclaimed actress whose performances resonated with audiences, but her later years were marred by a battle with cervical cancer that would ultimately take her life. In the late 1980s, Dewhurst began experiencing troubling symptoms that led her to seek medical attention. After a thorough examination, she received the sobering diagnosis of cervical cancer. Determined to fight the disease, Dewhurst approached treatment with her characteristic strength and resolve. Friends admired her unwavering spirit, noting that she continued to exude confidence even in the face of such a daunting battle. The treatment process was grueling, involving multiple rounds of chemotherapy and radiation therapy. Despite the physical toll it took on her body, Dewhurst remained committed to her work, often appearing in productions that showcased her incredible talent. However, the side effects of the treatment began to take a significant toll on her health. She experienced extreme fatigue, nausea, and emotional distress, yet she soldiered on, driven by her passion for acting. As the cancer progressed, Dewhurst faced increasingly difficult challenges. Her health began to decline rapidly, and she was forced to rely on the support of family and friends. Colleen Dewhurst passed away on August 22, 1991, at the age of 67. Karen Landry as Nora Cooper. Karen Landry played Nora Cooper, a character known for her compassionate and empathetic personality. Throughout her career, Landry was celebrated for her ability to portray nurturing and relatable characters. However, her later years were marked by a painful battle against cancer that would ultimately take her life. In the early 2010s, Landry began experiencing concerning health symptoms. After a series of tests and consultations, she received a devastating diagnosis: cancer. As she navigated the complexities of treatment, she often reflected on her life and career, feeling grateful for the opportunities she had but increasingly worried about the future. The chemotherapy treatments were brutal, leaving her exhausted and frequently unable to engage in her usual activities. Friends noted that while she maintained her warm demeanor, there were moments of vulnerability when the weight of her illness became too much to bear. Landry often spoke about the emotional toll of cancer, sharing her fears and frustrations with those closest to her. In her final months, the cancer took a significant toll on her body, forcing her to rely on the care of others. Karen Landry passed away on December 31, 2015, at the age of 65. Val Avery as Mr. Viola. Val Avery portrayed Mr. Viola, a character characterized by his gruff and no-nonsense demeanor. Throughout his career, Avery was celebrated for his strong screen presence and ability to portray complex characters. However, in his later years, he faced significant health challenges that would ultimately lead to his passing. In the years leading up to his death, Avery experienced various health issues that gradually worsened. Although he had always been a vibrant and active individual, the strain of aging took its toll on him. Friends noticed that he was becoming increasingly frail, and they encouraged him to seek medical attention for his ongoing symptoms. After a series of evaluations, Avery was diagnosed with health issues related to aging, which, although not life-threatening at the time, complicated his overall well-being. He struggled with the physical limitations imposed by his condition, feeling frustrated by the changes in his body. Nevertheless, he remained committed to his craft and continued to work, bringing depth to his performances even as he faced his own health challenges. As time went on, Avery's condition deteriorated, and he began to face the harsh realities of mortality. Val Avery passed away on December 12, 2009, at the age of 85 due to natural causes. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Moonlighting, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.